Oh, hello, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 5.
I think so.
I think it is, of I See Bad Movies. I'm Dave Keane, as you know, and as you obviously heard, we are joined by the stupendous...
Emma Spicer, but I think if you stupendous.
Yeah,
That's not a word.
stupendous. It is a word.
No, what I just said
what you
wasn't a
said. No, definitely not.
I think you've used stupendous before.
Have
I'm
I?
a bit upset, yeah, I think so.
Oh, crap. I don't have a very big...
Vocabulary.
Vocabulary,
You didn't
no.
have the word vocabulary, did you then?
No, I didn't. You had to tell me. Oh, no. The amazing Emma. I have not used the word amazing.
I don't think so, no. Not when you're talking about me.
No, definitely not.
Not in all these years.
Not in all these years. Oh, God, it's been years, hasn't
Yeah,
it?
it's been too long, probably. We should probably stop.
Yeah,
being
well...
friends at some point.
I was going to say it's been a short episode.
Okay, bye.
It might... You never know. This movie as well could be that bad that we just like, that's it, we quit.
We give up.
Emma, would you like to know what movie we're watching tonight?
I would, yes.
Well, tonight we're actually watching a movie, and it's not the movie we had planned to watch.
Okay.
So we were going to watch, if you remember, the sequel to Carousel.
Yes, we were.
Because we were so enamoured by it.
Although I don't really know where the storyline could go after what we watched.
Well, I've looked up the storyline, and
Okay.
it's very interesting, and I think we should still watch it.
Maybe we do a season of sequels.
Oh my God, sequels to the movies we've already watched.
Yes.
Oh my God, I love that idea.
And again, we're having a meeting in the middle of a podcast, which we quite often do. But anyone that listens to this every week will get used to this.
Yeah.
I also thought
Or fortnightly.
maybe like a versus, or fortnightly, because that's actually when it goes out. Maybe a versus, like, I don't know, Sharknado versus Anaconda or whatever these films are.
Yeah.
There's loads of those. There's absolutely loads of them. So maybe we can find the best 6 of those.
Yes. Because there's a lot out there.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
There's absolutely loads.
That's such a good idea. But we're not watching Carousel 2 tonight.
But we are going to watch it at some point.
At some point.
Watch this space.
Absolutely. But instead, many, many moons ago, I put out a little story on Instagram saying, hey, let us know what your favourite killer inanimate object movies are.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's always some. And someone came out with this one. So we're actually watching and reviewing a listener suggestion.
Ooh. Aren't we great?
Aren't we so good to you?
Say we don't listen to you.
And you will have to forgive me because I looked up the name of the person earlier.
And you've forgotten.
And I've already forgotten who it was that mentioned it. I'm really, really sorry, but...
Let's just call them Bob, and we'll edit this bit out and
Bob for now.
cut in a bit where we actually say...
And then, we might just do it when we watch the film. I'll look it up.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Who replied that then that might be easier. So, when we come back after watching the film, we'll...
And then just dub it over, so it would be us talking and just go, Sarah! And then carry on.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
That'd be easy to do, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I mean, clearly that's coming from someone who's never edited an episode before. So tonight, Emma...
Yes.
we are watching The Mangler.
Okay.
So The Mangler is a 1995 movie, which is based upon a Stephen King novel or short story, and actually directed by Tobe Hooper. I think that's the guy that did the Hostel movies. Was that Tobe Hooper?
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
No. I can't remember, but I know he's quite well known for. I mean, not by me, but clearly. But he's known for horror movies, so we might actually be in for a halfway decent one. But kind of like a daft story.
But Stephen King's stories always end in a really weird way, don't they?
Yes.
They start off with real potential and then the ending always disappoints, I think.
And do you know what I like to blame for that?
What?
Cocaine.
That will ruin most things.
He was a bit of a cokehead, Stephen King.
Oh, okay. That makes sense, actually, with some of the stories that he came out with.
All right. So would you like to hear the synopsis?
I would love to.
And then we'll get to flipping the coin and picking our categories. When an accident involving a folding machine at an old laundry occurs, Detective John Hunton decides to investigate. What he finds is the owner of the laundry, Bill Gartley. Oh, then it goes on to a new sentence.
Oh.
Okay.
What?
That's weird. What he finds is the owner of the laundry, Bill Gartley.
Oh, okay.
Meanwhile, the folding machine has acquired a taste for the flesh of human beings. But is there more to Bill Gartley than meets the eye? And does he know what monster hides behind the machine? That was a weird sentence.
That was really weird.
What he finds is the owner of the laundry. Well, yeah. I'm coming to investigate an accident at a laundry. I'd like to speak to the owner, please. Oh,
you're there.
There you are. And as if by magic, the laundry owner appeared. Bing.
I didn't actually know that you could get a folding machine to
No, I
fold
know.
your clothes.
But as a parent,
How
actually...
does that work?
I know. Well, I used to work in a menswear department many, many years ago when I first got out of college. And we didn't have a machine, but it was something you could put like tops or whatever onto and fold them over with it and then just slip them off so it was really neatly folded.
Yeah.
So this one must just be automated. So I like to think that the machines, clearly, I was using a manual one, so the person that invented the manual clothes folder clearly saw the Mangler.
And this is called the Mangler,
Yeah.
not the folding machine.
Yeah, because I thought a Mangler
So
was...
it's like kill a sofa all over again. It's not a sofa.
Oh my God.
Because isn't a Mangler the thing that you strain the water out with?
Yeah,
Like
you
in
would...
the
And it
1920s
crushes
or
the
whatever.
clothes and squeezes the water out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought this was, but it's a folding machine.
Well, ladies and gentlemen of the
we'll find
audience, I'm really sorry that we've lied to you yet again.
But kill a sofa annoyed me because of that, because it wasn't a
Yeah.
sofa, it was a chair.
And that was one of the trivia points in IMDb.
Yeah.
Was, despite calling the movie Kill a Sofa, it's clearly a chair.
It is clearly a chair.
I mean, this sounds promising, hopefully. Shall I flip the coin?
Yes.
All right, so... let's go. All right, what do you reckon? Are you going to get it right?
Good.
Good? Yes.
Is it good?
It is good.
Oh, I got it right.
It is good indeed. You got it right.
I never get it right.
And I listened back to a few intros a while ago, right?
Yeah.
And I was just saying, you never get it right. But you,
Oh, do I get it
you
right?
actually get it right more than...
I've got to believe in myself more. This is just me and my self-confidence.
I went back to edit an episode after I was recording
and
once.
do I say that every time as well?
And you were like,
Never get it right.
I won't get it right. And you got it right. And as I was editing the last episode, I was like, wait a second, you got this right. So I was like, let me just check back. So, ultimately, Emma,
So next time I'm going to be really
believe in
confident
yourself.
I'm going to get it wrong.
Yeah. Believe in
I
yourself.
always get this right.
Until you get it wrong. All right, so I'm just going to fan out the cards for you.
Okay.
All right, so if you'd like to take your pick,
Okay.
fingers crossed we get some good ones.
So the first one is death.
Oh,
Best death.
best,
We're doing best, aren't we?
the best mangle.
Best mangle. Second one is scene.
Oh, hello. Oh, have we had scene for a while?
I'm not sure we have actually.
I don't think we
I don't
have.
think we have.
Craig, maybe we should listen to our own podcast.
Is that narcissistic though to listen to your own podcast?
Maybe we won't then.
Or is it just quality control?
I mind you, I get bored listening to my own voice.
Yeah, don't say that.
Oh, sorry.
Listen to it. No, your voice is really interesting.
Why, yes, it is. What was that?
I don't know.
Just pick another card.
Okay. Special effects. I don't think.
Special effects.
Have we ever had that one?
No.
Yes, we have. I think
Did
we
we?
have. What movie was it on? We definitely did have special effects.
See, if we listened, we'd know.
Yeah, we know.
If you'd like to comment and let us know when we've had special
Have we
effects
had
before.
if anyone listens to every episode, have we had special effects?
I think we had it on The Carpenter. Was it The Carpenter or something?
I think we have had it before.
Yeah, I'm sure we have. All right,
Okay.
fourth card.
Yes, fourth card. Line.
Oh, fingers crossed. Stephen King's written some good lines.
I think we might have had line last.
Line's quite popular. It comes up a lot.
Line, yeah. Okay, and the last one is props.
Props. Ooh. The last time we had props, I think, was Demon House? Or whatever it was called.
Was it?
Yeah, because it was the little man with the big willy. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
You're looking wistful.
You don't get many of them. Little man normally means little Willy.
I'm 6'2". for the listeners' benefit. Anyway, on that note, shall we go and watch this film?
Yes, we shall.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Well, hello, and welcome back, Emma, after the Mangler.
Oh, sorry, I think I nodded off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Oh, it was, I think, quite possibly one of the worst movies we've watched.
I think it was, yeah, when you say worst, I think actually bad. Like, we like bad movies that are so bad they're good.
This was
just bad, I think.
This was just so average it was bad. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apart from the end.
Oh, the end really ramped
The end
up.
sort of redeemed it a little bit.
Yeah, it pulled us back out because for a long, long time, we haven't talked through a movie.
No.
Because we thought, no, we've got to be professional. We're watching it, well, you know, reviewing it.
Normally we're taking notes and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, we still took notes.
Yes, we did still take notes, but not as many.
But we did
as
also
we
catch up a lot.
Yeah, we had a few little conversations.
Few conversations in between on that one.
Yeah.
Easily distracted from it because
maybe we should talk about the conversations rather than the movie.
Yeah, actually, yeah, we might have a lot more fun talking about the conversations. But I do have a few things to say before we start reviewing the film.
Okay.
So before, I could not remember the name of the person that recommended this movie. And Nikki Simmons, thank you, but also no thank you.
Thanks, but no thanks.
No. Thanks a lot. Because as you're very much aware, Nikki, as well, you know, when we released the episode Rubber, you said, I'm loving listening to Rubber, but there's also Killer Sofa, so I hope you are really pleased with the episode of Killer Sofa as well that we released. The Mangler. You're right, it is it's a bad movie. You didn't say it was your favourite, but at least...
it might be even too bad for our bad movie podcast.
Is this the end of listener recommendations, Emma?
Possibly, no. I think we always want recommendations. As much as we've got a catalogue of movies to get through, it's always good to get people's recommendations. Quite often, if people tell us about a movie, it's one we've already seen.
True, quite often.
But this one I hadn't even heard of, so...
I think there's a good reason for that.
I think so, but I will stand by that it brought us back in at the end, didn't it? We were interested again towards the end.
True.
But there was it's quite a long movie. For a lot of these movies that we watch are sort of just over an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
This was getting on for three, not three.
Three?
Three, no.
Felt like it.
It was getting on for 2.
Yeah.
So it felt like longer.
It did, yeah.
It's just that nothing was happening for a while there.
Yeah, it really did, actually. And the thing is, as well, this was a short story by Stephen King.
Yes.
So they've clearly had to pad so much of it out. And I've not read the short story, and I don't think I'm ever gonna.
No.
But I looked at it, and
there was quite a lot of dialogue that I felt like could have just been removed, and you wouldn't have lost any of the story.
And to be honest with you, a lot of that dialogue sounded like it was improvised.
Yeah.
Just run down there screaming and say something, and they just repeated themselves over and over again.
It was the detective guy, wasn't it, chatting quite a lot?
Yeah,
his brother-in-law. Was it his brother-in-law?
Yeah, we had the detective John Hunton, and he had a brother-in-law who was into witchcraft, and they had a lot of conversations, which we'll probably go into a bit more as we get through some of the synopsis and so on. But yeah, it was really unnecessary. And I've also got something else to mention.
Yeah.
So during the introduction, I said, Tobe Hooper, is that the guy that did Hostel? I was getting him confused with Eli Roth. No, Tobe Hooper is the guy behind Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's still very well known in horror stuff, but I got him completely mixed up with the wrong person. Right, so shall we have a little chat about the synopsis of the film?
Yes.
So, people get mangled. There you go, the end.
Pretty much. there's the detective guys in there who is actually Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, Buffalo Bill.
Who I didn't pick up on until I said, do you know what that voice reminds me of? And started doing my really bad impression. And
Which
then
you
David
can't say that and then not do it.
I know you were going to say that. She puts lotion on her skin.
Oh my God, Buffalo Bill was in the room.
And then you was like, yeah, there's a reason for that because it is him. And I was like, whoa. And then as soon as I looked at him again, I was like, yeah, how did I not see that was him?
And the most
His voice
amazing
is
thing,
so distinct.
it really is. And the most amazing thing is you said that, and I literally, it is him because I just looked the exact same thing up at the same time.
Yeah.
So great minds think alike and all that. Maybe.
So he was the detective, wasn't he? And then he had the brother-in-law who was into witchcraft and demons and things like that.
Yeah.
And so we were introduced to him first, weren't we? I can't remember. It was a long time ago.
No,
it was the actual workhouse laundry kind of
we
place.
had the workhouse thing. So it opens up on the laundry.
Yes.
And first of all, it looks like, I really liked the laundry place. I thought it looked fantastic, but it was like an old workhouse.
It was an old. This is set in the. Well, I take it was set. It was made in the 90s. I take it didn't say it wasn't.
Yeah,
didn't give anything
it was
to say
indistinct
it was
with time, but it was of our time. I mean, it was modern cars, modern.
I think so. Yeah, but the laundry looked like something out of Oliver Twist, didn't it? It was like an oldie kind of, like a big old warehouse place.
Yeah.
And the Mangler / folder / steamer, I don't know what it was. They put sheets in it and it seemed to steam them.
It was everything at once.
That was humongous. I didn't think it'd be that big. So they've literally put in big, I don't know, double or maybe even king size bed sheets through this thing, and it's the width of, bigger than that is the width of France and the length of Germany. It was huge. So but I guess it needed to be there, didn't it? Because of what happened to people, they wouldn't have.
It had to fit a whole human body in, I suppose.
So it couldn't have been a tiny little thing. But I don't think either of us had imagined it would be quite as big as it was. It was pretty huge. So it was pretty much the big Mangler thing, wasn't it? In the middle of the room, and then there were there's a weird staircase where the guy used to.
And there was hundreds of people working there. It was so packed for the people.
Quite a few.
It really was packed for the people. But we meet our female kind of protagonist, Sherry. She gets kind of stabbed by something on the machine breaking.
She goes to use a lever on the side of it and something goes through her hand.
Yeah.
And it's quite a bad, deep cut.
And her blood sprays on the machine.
Yes.
And that kind of sets off a load of weird lightning to go off around the thing. Yeah. And it's is that almost like it's bringing it to life.
Electricity sparking, isn't it? Yeah.
And then she's being looked to and being bandaged up.
At no point, by the way,
Aye.
Does anyone mention maybe taking her to a hospital? Because she definitely needs stitches.
Health and safety is nothing.
They put a little bandage around it, don't they?
Health and safety is out the window in this place.
Yeah.
It's madness. Osha would have a field day with them.
Yeah.
Absolute field day. But then a poor old woman who gets too close to the machine now, she gets distracted and she drops some antacid tablets.
They keep teasing us, don't they? Because she puts her hand on it first.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh no, her hand's going to go in. And then she pulls it away. And then she's talking to somebody and then later, and then she's taking these pills because you can see that she doesn't feel quite well. And then she's taking these pills, don't know what the pills are. Mm-hmm. And she pops a few pills and then someone distracts her and then she goes to take some more pills, but she's accidentally drops the pills onto the machine.
Yeah.
And then she goes back to try and get them out of the machine, but they're just about to go in, be fed into the machine.
Yeah.
So she goes to get them back, and then she's
then
dragged into the machine.
kind of grabbed and dragged in, isn't she?
We'll talk about that, won't we?
We will. Clearly, the poor old lady is not long for the world once that happens, and chaos ensues as people try to save her, and it ultimately fails. Okay. So then we cut to our detective, who's gets in his car.
Do we not see the guy that owns the laundry first, or not?
I don't know if we see him at that point. I think we see him.
Do we see him when the detective visits, or do we see him before that?
I can't quite remember.
No, I can't remember.
But I can't remember actually. Oh God, this is just how like distracting and boring the film was. Yeah, so the detective, he's like driving really erratically down his road, and he like there's a truck coming down his road.
We've missed a bit.
Oh, have we?
So there's the ice box in the laundry. There's an ice box which kind of looked to us like some sort of cabinet or safe kind of. It didn't look like an ice box. It's like an old-fashioned bit of furniture with a like locked door on it. Mm-hmm. Doesn't that fall on somebody or injure somebody?
It falls on Sherry.
So that falls on somebody, and then they take it off in this lorry, don't they?
Yeah.
There's no explanation for why they're taking it off in the lorry.
No, they take it off in the lorry and they drop it off to...
And that's the lorry that nearly crashes with the detective.
Into the detective, yeah.
And then they go and drop it off at someone's house.
Who lives near the detective, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but they don't explain why they take the icebox.
And it's never explained. Never explained.
So that's how we meet the detective, is they're taking the icebox to someone's house, and then the detective comes around the corner and they kind of almost crash. Mm-hmm. But even that was like really kind of... They made it look like they were almost going to crash, but then it was so deliberately like they missed each other.
Yeah.
Like it was so set up and obvious.
I still can't get my head around this thing breaks off, hits the Mangler, and then is instantly put onto a truck and taken to a random house, which is so close to the detective. I don't get it. And then the icebox comes back into it. We're not just like having some sort of brain melt.
They don't explain any of that, why it's been carted off and why it's been taken, where it's been taken.
None of it.
It just gets taken off.
But the detective is on his way to the laundry anyway because of the death of the old lady.
Yes.
So he gets there, sees that's happened, and I think that's when we see the boss.
Right, okay, yeah.
Who's played by Robert Englund of Freddy Krueger and V, and for any of you really old people remember V.
I don't remember that because I'm far too young.
Yeah, far too young. Far too young. You don't remember the aliens that came down in the big mothership? They took their faces off and there were lizards underneath. You know, like the royal family.
It sounds familiar now that you're saying it.
But maybe you saw it on reruns when you were, because you're that much younger.
Must have done,
Yeah.
Quite a lot younger than you.
I mean, obviously Robert Englund's done a hell of a lot more, but you know, I remember him for V.
What have you seen him in? Have you seen him in anything else? I haven't.
No, he's been in a lot of horror stuff. He's been in a lot of horror stuff.
Buffalo Bill has been in an incredible amount of things. Some stuff that's really big, but there was a long list of things he'd been in, which I was quite surprised by because I've never seen him in anything else or noticed him.
But yeah, that's the thing. Now you're gonna be watching things and you're only gonna be like, oh my god, there's Buffalo Bill again.
I'm gonna be looking out for him now
because you'll just see like the list of things you were reading out.
Unless he's had like non-speaking parts, because that voice, you would pick up on that voice, surely.
That's it, I'm turning it off. Buffalo Bill's in the house.
So Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, so he's got these like leg braces.
Yeah, he's got like the Forrest Gump style leg braces, hasn't he?
He's wearing glasses, and one of the lenses is blacked out. So you know he's obviously like missing an eye or got some sort of thing going on there.
Yeah.
He's got prosthetics on.
The way I would describe it is if you asked a young child, say 5 or 6, to draw a bad guy, that's how they would draw him. It was literally like they'd got a child to go, what do you think a bad man looks like? And then it was like everything you could think of, wasn't it, thrown at it? Like, I'll give him some dodgy glasses and some dodgy legs and really he's got a stick that he walks with.
Old and horrid looking.
Yeah, just creepy looking.
Pinstripe suit. Yeah. Typical bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh.
And he's got like a little sidekick man, hasn't he, that sort of stands up on the platform because they've got like a...
Yeah, the foreman. Yeah,
there's
foreman.
like a staircase and then they stand on like a raised platform above the workers. And he's got his little guy there, the foreman there, every time he comes out of his...
He's not a good boss either, is he?
Oh, no, he's awful.
He's very much, get back to work. Yeah, you know, someone's
that woman's just had this horrific accident. Well, yeah, someone's died as well. The woman's cut her hand and that she doesn't get taken to hospital. And by the way, when the old woman dies, she looks down at her bandage and blood's just all seeping through it and she's just basically bleeding to death. And no one says, should we take you to hospital?
We should really get that scene
Probably need some stitches there.
But then maybe no one wants to pay for the ambulance in America.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's so expensive.
Yeah, they haven't got insurance if they like work in a crappy job like that with a bad boss.
Yeah, bad boss. Yeah, absolutely. There's no medical insurance. And this is before Obamacare.
Yeah.
Whatever. I say that with absolutely no idea what Obamacare is, but although my boss is American and she's talked to me about the healthcare and the woes of
so expensive,
healthcare.
isn't it?
Well,
It's
that's the thing. My
ridiculous.
company changed healthcare providers, healthcare insurance companies.
Yeah.
So like every American person on the same team as me was like, we need to check to see if this insurance is accepted by the people that we normally go to. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So, I mean, not only that, you also have to worry about being mangled in America.
Yeah, of course.
Because I've never heard of any manglings
Well,
in
you
the
have
UK.
to worry about lots of inanimate objects. You're not safe in your own home.
No. Actually,
What if your chairs can come to life and kill
yeah,
you?
there hasn't been a British inanimate object killer.
No.
It's been American
Not many
or
of the
New
movies.
Zealand
Oh, yes.
for the killer so far.
But have we watched many English bad movies? We haven't, have we?
I think The Ghost of Bolly Rectory was the last English one.
Yes.
Oh, and the Demon House one with the two guys, well, shit in my mouth, that was in England.
Okay.
Yeah. Notice I don't remember the name of the film, but I
You
remember that
the
line.
lines, yeah. Of course.
So, like, honestly, so the detective turns up at the laundry.
Yes.
I'll talk about what he sees there.
So we have that really good death at the beginning with the old lady, and you kind of straight in with a bit of action, and then there is a really long period of time where nothing happens.
At all.
Nothing really. They're just wandering about, the detective and the brother-in-law. I don't even know anyone's names in this film. Oh,
No.
apart from Sherry.
Sherry
who was
and
the
Jonathan.
niece of
Hunt.
the horrible boss, wasn't
Yeah.
she? There's nothing really happens, and this is the point where we sort of drifted off and started chatting and lost our interest.
Very slowly, though, very, very, very slowly through the film, we start to get little tidbits of information, but it's just drip fed to you. It
So
takes
that's what they're
the
talking
brother.
about, aren't they? They're saying that they think the machine is maybe possessed or it's got a demon in
but
it.
that's exactly it. It takes the brother who's into witchcraft just to make that leap. Have you thought it's maybe been? Actually, that's one of my favourite lines, or that might be one of my bad lines. But it's literally like, have you thought this about it? And it's just such a leap.
And then that's it. That's just like, that's it then. That's what we've decided, that this is what it is. We need no more evidence than just thinking it.
I mean, to be fair, they're either geniuses or just very lucky in figuring that out, because they're right.
Yeah, they are right.
They're right.
I mean, yeah.
But, nothing happens. Nothing. Until all of a sudden, we're near the end of the movie. They figure out that it is possessed. They figure out that it's going after... not going after, but the people of the town, or the well-to-do people, the older people of the town, are sacrificing their 16-year-old daughters or nieces. They've got to be virgins. So they're sacrificing their 16-year-old daughters to this machine, or nieces, or blood of my blood is the quote, to the machine. But we don't even really know why, other than the fact they're just...
Well, you at one point said, is it to keep the horrible boss guy like
young or
younger,
alive, or
that's a bit like
but
Hocus Pocus.
It didn't.
It's just like,
we should have just watched Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, it'd been better, wouldn't it? Yeah. So I don't know. It lost us in the middle. We'll be honest about that. It did lose us, and we don't really know what happened. Although not much did happen.
Yeah, not much.
But it does bring you back at the end, doesn't it? Because
it does. Yeah, it does.
Stuff starts happening again. Because for a long time I was thinking, well, we've had like one death and that's it. In what's meant to be a horror movie.
Yep.
This is like 18 plus as well. This it's rated 18, isn't it?
And it wasn't even particularly. I mean, there was gore.
There was. When somebody did die, there was quite a lot of blood and gore.
Yeah.
But there was a big lull in the middle where it was just like nothing happened.
Yeah.
And we watch these movies for the death scenes, and
yeah, I mean,
it's a killer object. Kill some people.
And I know we watch bad movies, but at least even the bad movies that we watch have some kind of like plot and storyline driving along, and this one just seemed to have too much fill.
Yeah.
Too much like fleshing out the story.
It was a bit like a Quentin Tarantino movie where, it's 3 hours long, and 2 hours of that is just dialogue, which, again, you could probably just cut that out.
You could.
And still have the same story.
I mean, to be fair, sometimes it's... You're right, absolutely. I do agree with you. You could absolutely do that with Quentin Tarantino movies.
Or
but a lot of the time it's like... But it's quite clever dialogue, so you want to hear it.
Something like Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
I
and
like
Reservoir
Pulp
Dogs.
Fiction. I don't think that's an issue. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood...
Far too fleshed out.
Far too long, far too much dialogue. It didn't need... I don't know. There was only really the scene at the end that was any action. The rest of it was just a lot of talking about nothing, really. But yeah, this movie just kind of lost us, and it was just... And then we pull it back at the end where stuff starts happening again.
Yeah, stuff really does start happening. They figured out that Sherry's going to be sacrificed to the machine.
Because it's her birthday.
Because it is her birthday.
So
she's turning 16.
Birthday. She's turning 16, and her creepy uncle, who owns the laundry, she's sort of in the house, isn't she? Like, is it attached to the?
Yeah,
I couldn't work out the building
no, the house is further away. It's like, but they've got the people that own the laundry have got this great big old style, colonial, maybe not colonial, but a great big mansion.
Okay.
But it's some way away because at one point Sherry gets in a car, drives away from the laundry and goes to the house to shower off the blood of the foreman at some point, who has his arm chopped off so he can be saved from...
This is when it starts getting good again, isn't it? So it's her birthday. Yeah. He comes in, he's got a cake there with all the candles lit, and he comes in and is like, happy birthday, and then chloroforms her. And then isn't that when the foreman gets stuck in the machine when they get back to the... No.
Oh. She was already home by that point. Yeah. She was already home. He'd already had his arm chopped off. I mean, we skipped that bit because there wasn't really much going on. Like, there seems to be people who just seem to get involved with the machine, get mangled by it a little bit or fully by it, and then nothing really happens. But the foreman, he does. They're trying to fix the machine, but he gets his arm caught in it, and then he has to have his arm chopped off. But I don't want to go into too much because I think I'm covering that.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I am. I'm not 100% certain. But ultimately, it ends up Sherry is then taken to be sacrificed, but at the same time, the detective and his brother-in-law are talking about exercising the machine.
Yes.
With all their he's got an exorcism.
By this point, worked out, haven't they, that it's 16-year-olds. They're going for a book, aren't they, of newspaper cuttings.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
And they're saying that it's basically they work out that it's 16-year-old virgins that are being sacrificed to the machine. And he calls Sherry, doesn't he? And he says, "Stay inside.
Yeah.
Stay safe, blah, blah, blah." But then that's when her uncle comes in, and then she's not safe. And then, she gets taken to the laundry after she's been drugged, and then... So the detective... I mean, this is the mad thing as well, right? Sherry gets put in the machine, and anyone else that goes in the machine, instantly they are caught, and they're being, dragged in. Before they know it, they're mangled.
But Sherry gets put in the machine and then is there for a long enough time for the detective and his brother to turn up and wrestle her free without any incident. Without any incident. And I remember looking at that thinking, I know they're doing this. Yeah, the inconsistency of it really annoyed me. Annoyed me. And then it really goes mad.
Yeah, then it's quite... Yeah, there's quite a lot going on after that.
Really mad. So many people get mangled.
There is one great scene, which we will talk about. So we won't talk about it now because we will talk about it when we go into detail. But so basically, so who's the woman who's kind of almost becomes his sidekick, doesn't she?
Yeah. So this is
what her name is.
I have no idea who this woman is, but early in the movie, she, one of the steam pipes bursts and is flapping around and burning people, and she freaks out and goes upstairs to say to Robert Englund, do something. He takes her into the office and has this great big speech with her. And then the next time we see her, she's evil.
Yeah, she looks different. She's definitely like his sidekick.
And we know she's evil now because she's no longer wearing the like the overalls for the laundry, and she's
Yeah.
got her hair and makeup done.
Yeah. She's got like dark hair, makeup, and dark clothes, I think. So
Yeah,
she's gone over to
that's
the dark
it.
side.
She's had a makeover, and that's
Yeah.
now she's evil. Yeah, very very odd.
She gets caught in the machine.
She gets mangled. Yeah.
And then we do lose Robert Englund as well.
Yeah.
But we will talk about that because that was brilliant.
That was brilliant. Yeah.
And then the machine kind of comes to life. I mean, I kind of guess it is.
Well, we have
alive, but
the exorcism happen, and they think they've killed it.
the exorcism is hilarious.
It really is awful.
Yeah, they think they've done it, but then so the machine basically gets up and starts chasing them. But then they're going down this massive spiral staircase.
Yeah.
Which, where the hell is that? Because from the outside, this building is just like, doesn't even look that massive from the outside.
Yeah. It's like the factory is built on top of like some sort of ancient burial site. Surprise. Typical. But yeah, it's like what I would imagine the inside of the Leaning Tower of Pisa looks like.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Or like something out of Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
It's just, all of a sudden they're on this huge like staircase, like a really ancient staircase, not like a and I don't know, it doesn't make any sense. And then they're just running down it, but the machine's
because they're being chased now by the machine, who's
got
now
up and
broken free of being just a machine on the floor and is chasing them. Yeah.
Before that, it looks like it's going to explode because it's all sparking off and all like it looks like you keep getting these special effects of like electricity, and then it looks like the machine's sort of crumbling and gonna, I don't know, blow up or crumble, and then it gets up and starts chasing them, which is funny. And then and we haven't mentioned at all.
Oh, go on.
Throughout the whole film, there's a photographer. He doesn't get explained either.
The old man. Just an old man turns up.
An old man that just turns up every time something happens with this camera that's like from the, I don't know, 1900s.
Yeah.
Maybe even 1800s. It's like this shit. Bearing in mind this is the 90s, he's got this massive old camera with a huge flash on it. And
those old style reporters.
Yeah.
Hey, Al Capone, let's take a picture.
Yeah, literally like that. But they've made him look like Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, they've put all sorts of prosthetics
Even the hat
on
and
him.
everything, like his face, but also like the hat, and they've made him look like Freddy Krueger.
Now, I was really surprised.
Which I don't know if they did deliberately because of Robert Englund being in it. I don't know.
It was a very, very odd design choice. But I remember saying it was the same guy that played the mortician in the movie.
Yes.
So I can understand them putting prosthetics on to make him look different, but...
Clearly trying to make him look creepy as well, but it was like Freddy Krueger.
But they did make him look really disfigured.
He just needed the jumper and then he was there.
Yeah.
But he just keeps turning up and taking pictures all the time, doesn't he? There's no explanation of who he is.
None.
I don't think.
No.
And then, what was my point about him? Oh, where have we got to? So the machine's got up and it's...
Oh, yeah. He's already died by this point.
Oh, so he already died?
Yeah. He died earlier. So it's in his stuff are all the clippings that show the detective that it's the 16-year-old.
Yeah.
But this is just where like so many like little non-things happen in the film that we missed the whole character.
Yeah.
Because again, there's no explanation of how or why he knows the detective and is because they know each other.
Yeah.
And ultimately, he gives the detective all the information that he needs to understand what's going on and to go and deal with the machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why? How? Where? When?
I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense. And my mind is actually frazzling itself to try and figure out what did we miss? What slight part of a conversation was in there and ended up meaning nothing.
I don't know.
But ultimately, we end up, our heroes get chased down these stairs, and then it stops chasing them. So they leave, and everything's fine.
The brother-in-law gets killed, doesn't he?
Yeah, the brother-in-law gets killed. They're chased down these flights of stairs.
Yeah.
And they to get away from it, instead of running down, they end up jumping down.
They jump down into they end up in the water, and then there's tunnels.
Yeah, and they're in this tunnel.
It's bizarre.
And then there's like a sort of explosion, and then they're no longer being chased. So literally, they just walk out of the laundry. She gets taken to hospital, and they think everything's fine. But that is literally it.
Yeah.
The doctor comes out and says to the detective, she's going to be okay, but the doctor's missing a finger.
Yeah, he waves as he goes out and he's missing his ring finger.
And everyone who's missing a finger, that finger has been fed to the Mangler.
Yeah.
So they are all part of the conspiracy.
Yeah.
Even the woman who turned evil and became the sidekick, she was missing a finger at one point.
Yeah.
So she was part of it. And then you had, at the very, very end, the detective decides to take a bouquet of flowers to see Sherry.
It's not a bouquet of flowers, let's not exaggerate. It's literally
like... a little posy of flowers, isn't it?
A little tiny, it's like he's picked some bluebells or something out of the woods.
Oh, yeah. Is that not considered a bouquet? Oh my God,
David,
that's why I'm single.
It's up your game. You've just been bringing some, what they call daisies. A daisy chain.
Hey, it takes a lot of work to make a daisy chain, especially with these big fingers, these big sausage fingers.
Yeah, this was weird, and this was something that you picked up on, wasn't it? That, hang on a minute, how old is he? Because he's got to be 45 and she's 16. And he's turning up at her workplace with flowers, and it's like, a bit creepy, mate.
Yeah, a bit creepy.
She is a child, technically.
Absolutely. However, he turns up at the workplace.
She's now running it, isn't she?
She's running the laundry, and what else?
She's got a finger missing.
She's got a finger missing, and what else?
She's now evil, by the looks of it.
And what else?
I don't know. There's a guy there as well. Who's the guy that she's...
he's the new foreman.
Oh, new
Because
foreman.
although the foreman had his arm chopped off to save him from the Mangler, he still died. And what else is, she's got these leg braces on now.
Oh, does she have the leg braces on?
She's got the leg braces
I totally
on.
missed that.
And she's wearing a suit,
I think I was nodding off at that
very
point.
similar to Robert Englund.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then that's the end of the film.
So that's it. But,
he gets in his car and drives
there
off.
could be a sequel, or did you say there was a
I
sequel?
think there is a sequel,
there is a sequel.
Mangler 2, surprisingly enough.
Let's not add that to our sequel.
And then I think there's also a third film called Mangler Reborn.
No.
Or something like that. I'll have to
Also,
I'll have to look
I do
it up.
just want to say as well, because this is quite important.
Oh, go on.
So we have watched Rubber and Killer Sofa, and we went on quite a lot about how impressed we were that they'd given these inanimate objects a real personality. I mean, especially the tyre. I mean, it didn't even have a face, but you knew what it was thinking. I know it sounds ridiculous. And you knew what it was doing. And it had a personality, it had a character. Mm-hmm. I don't know how they achieved it, but they did. And the sofa had a face as well, so that helped loads. And that was definitely...
Yes.
Had a personality.
100%.
On this movie, the Mangler had no... They didn't personalise it at all, did they? It was just a machine. It didn't have any sort of personality or any character. Mm-hmm. It was just an object. It wasn't... I don't know. It didn't bring it to life like they did in the other movies. And I think that didn't help when we were watching it. It didn't help with our interest, I think, because it did just look like a machine. Yeah, it did.
Although it didn't have any character at all. I mean, there was one bit where the old woman was distractedly putting her hand back, and like the safety guard opened up as if it was like a mouth opening.
Yeah.
But it didn't bring across anything that was like, it's hungry.
Yeah,
you know?
like, I don't know, with the Killer Sofa, it's like, it's evil. You can see that it's evil, and it's like looking out the window at people, and it's creepy little eyes. Like, I don't know, it just had something about it.
But it was a really great looking machine. The machine was
fantastic
and evil and really moody, especially with the steam and the lighting. I think they did that really well. But it didn't have any character, you're absolutely right.
And the other movies we've watched in this category definitely have. And that let it down as well, because I think if you can achieve a character on an inanimate object, there's something really impressive about that to me. If you can achieve, if I feel like that has a personality, then that's, like I say, especially with the tyre, because it was a tyre and he had no face, it was just literally a tyre, and yet we felt like we knew what that tyre was thinking.
Yeah, absolutely we did.
He'd look at 100%. Something and be like, I know what you're thinking.
So there is a Mangler 2. However, it's about a computer virus.
Oh.
that takes over a school, but then the Mangler Reborn is 10 years after the original massacre.
Oh, okay.
So I'm thinking the Mangler 2 is just riffing off of the Mangler, and the Mangler Reborn is like, the Mangler 2 failed so bad.
Yeah.
We've got to bring the universe back to the original Mangler. I don't know. So we kind of talked about the synopsis of the film.
Yeah.
There's a detective, people get mangled.
The end.
There's a really weird ending that ramps up a lot. Typical Stephen King ending where it just suddenly goes absolutely crazy and doesn't really finish without leaving you with lots of different questions. So shall we start talking about some of the topics?
Yes.
What do you want to start with?
I've got death first, but we don't have to necessarily do it in order of...
No, okay. Because remember, we're looking at the good
deaths
stuff.
Are quite good, so let's...
Do you want to kick in with that?
Something else? Or do you want to kick in with it?
We'll make them... We'll make you
them wait.
We're going to make you
Maybe
wait.
do special effects, because...
Yeah.
There wasn't loads.
It puts on the special effects or it gets the holes. All right, let's do special effects.
Okay. So I had a couple of good ones.
Yeah.
I think we've got the same good one. So when the old lady gets mangled up. So basically she goes through the whole machine, and you do see quite a lot of her laying, like being fed into the machine, don't you? It's kind of like she's there for a while, and there's just ridiculous amounts of like blood, which is very red blood. It's not necessarily, and very thin. It looks like paint, basically.
Very thin
splattered
paint.
everywhere. So you see her quite a lot there, but then when she comes out the other end of the machine, it's really funny. She's just literally like a blancmange.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that fish, the blobfish?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like that.
She's like a bloody messed blobfish.
Yes. So you've got like her face, which is all just, but you've also just then got a load of offal. It's just like, but it's really funny because it's just like her body is just completely, just completely mangled, I guess.
Yes, it's been mangled.
But it did make us laugh.
It did, and I really liked it because it was the first one that we saw.
Yeah.
And there was lots of those kinds of things as it goes through the movie. Like there was like the brother-in-law later gets like sort of cut in half, and he's got his rib cage and he's and
the woman that's the boss's sidekick at one point. She goes through the machine and you see her just all like a head and then all mangled body parts.
And the mangled body parts after it. Yeah.
But I think what made us laugh the most is they carry her out. They kind of put her into this container.
Woman,
They put the old woman into like this plastic container and just carry her out. Like
it wasn't even plastic. It was like a canvas box.
Oh, okay. So
and it was dripping everywhere.
So you see them carry her out, and it's just like, like normally someone dies, they're on a stretcher with like a blanket over them, and it's all very dignified. And this was just a box. They didn't even cover it, did they? It was just a box of like mangled up body, and like you say, it was pissing out with blood, and it was just like, okay.
They put her in the back of an ambulance, and you just see they kind of drag her across the lip of the door of the ambulance, and there's blood trailing down the back of the ambulance. It's like what?
So that was quite good. And then the other one I had was the machine.
Oh, go on.
Kind of blowing up and starting to move.
Yeah.
Like there was some good special effects there where it was like sparking and there was loads of electricity coming off it, and then it actually gets up and moves. Yeah,
and the way it actually kind of exploded as well, it looked like, I mean, it was a practical effect.
Yeah.
And all this stuff kind of exploded off of it. And there were 3, I mean, quite possibly stunt doubles there for it. But they were very close to the stuff from that machine flying off.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know it's, it's all probably styrofoam shaped to look like it's metal, etc. But that was still exploding right close to them as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it looked good. I will give them that. They did the special effects actually very well.
Did you have anything else for good special effects?
No, just it was just the old lady, I think, was my favourite one because it was the first one. And I don't trust old ladies.
But also, it was just funny. I can't. You should watch this movie just for the scenes like that.
Yeah.
Like skip through all the talking.
Oh, 100%.
You don't need it. But for the scenes where people actually do go through the machine, it's really quite funny.
There's probably there must be somewhere on YouTube a compilation of the mangles from the Mangler.
Yeah.
Just watch that.
Just watch that, yeah.
Just watch that. Nothing that tells you all you need to know about the film. So yeah, that was my one good, the one I wanted to highlight. But there are other good bits in there if you like gore.
Yeah,
I would say
definitely gory. Yeah.
All right. Well, shall we talk about scenes then?
Yes.
Scenes. So I've got a good scene.
Okay.
And it's not so much because of what happens in the scene, because I don't think there was any sort of scene where I think, that was a really good scene and it was really cleverly done. It starts out like this. So the steam pipe is just broken.
Yeah.
And 3 women get burnt, one really badly burnt. Mm-hmm. And the woman that ends up being the sidekick goes running up to Robert Englund and is like, oh, do something. And he says, go and wait in my office. Okay. Yeah. And I think this is the start of her becoming his sidekick. Okay. For whatever reason. But so she... And I can't even really remember everything that he was saying to her in this scene, but he starts talking to her about the benefits of hard work and, how sometimes we've all got to make a sacrifice, etc., etc. The way it's filmed is she's standing there and he's walking around her really sort of menacingly.
Yeah.
But the camera angle is it's obviously on some sort of little dolly going around her, but it's kind of aiming up at. So if you imagine a circle going around her, he's walking around her, and the camera's aiming up at him, walking around her, talking to her. And it was just I just thought it was a really, really nice shot.
Yeah.
But that's why it's a good scene. It's not because of anything to do with the storyline. Just because it was
shot well, yeah.
Just because it was a really interesting angle. It really showed her in a vulnerable place, but him being really sinister, really menacing, and just doing what Robert Englund does in horror movies.
Yeah.
Just being him.
Yeah.
Who would you not invite to a dinner party? Did you have a good scene?
I had the end scene, one of the end scenes with the machine coming to life.
Yep.
And I just loved the bit where so obviously all of a sudden things are going on. We've had this long lull of we're bored, nothing's happening.
Yeah.
And it's all kicking off and the machine gets up and starts moving about, and there's a part where the brother-in-law is flicking through what I assume is the Bible. Was it the Bible?
This was the book, an exorcism book or something.
Okay, so he's got this book with him, but there's this really funny scene where he's frantically flicking through pages and just muttering all kinds of stuff. But it's the way it's shot as well. It's really jerky. He's just kind of.
So do you know how what I think they did with that is I think they attached a camera to the end of the book so that as he was flicking the book, the camera was
wobbling about
with the movement of the book.
Yeah, it just made me laugh. It was just but I thought that was a good scene because there was a lot going on. That made me laugh.
Yeah,
and I think probably after not having much happen, all of a sudden you're thrown into a bit of action.
And then a bit of a laugh in the midst of that action as well, definitely.
So I thought that was a good scene, after lots of many boring scenes.
Lots and lots of many boring scenes. Oh, God, there was so many of them. It really did.
Really, a lot didn't happen for a long time.
I wonder if we'll recommend this movie to anyone. But we'll find out at the end.
Yeah. We need to score it as well. I don't know what I'm going to score this one.
I think I know what I'm going to score it. Right. Well, let's talk about props.
Okay.
All right. What have you got down as a good prop?
I have got... there wasn't loads of props.
No.
I've definitely got my bad one. But good one, I've just put the icebox because...
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why it was good, really. It was... I liked it because they didn't explain it at all.
No.
They just didn't... There was no... concern for we need to explain this, why it's being moved out of the laundry, why it's going where it's going, and then it just kept kind of falling onto people, crushing them, not crushing them and killing them, but just
it's I'm gonna hurt you, but I don't really have the power to do it.
Yeah, it fell on a couple of people. It fell on the detective in the beginning, didn't it? And he was like, "Get this off me!" And then the guys who were had it on this little trolley thing, got it back off of him. And then later on, was it the brother-in-law that put his hand in it?
Well, this is the thing. So
They opened it, didn't they?
the ice box
Didn't have any ice in it.
never had any ice in it. It had some buds in it.
It had some birds in it, some dead, one alive.
Yeah. But when the ice box hit the Mangler,
Yeah.
what I think happened, and the brother said this, transference. I think some of the evil from the Mangler transferred into the icebox.
But not enough to actually kill anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is what kicks off, which really kicks off with the detective, the belief that it is all like a supernatural thing.
Yeah.
Is because on the drive home, they find like loads of police and ambulance outside the neighbour's house with this, they've got this icebox.
Oh,
and
yes.
their son is dead.
Yes.
Killed by the icebox somehow or other. We don't
see
know
it, do we? No.
how. Don't know how. But then, yeah, the brother says, "Have you heard of transference? The icebox hit the machine and or whatever."
Yeah.
And then they open it up and there's those birds inside. And the brother puts his hands in to get the bird out. The bird flies out, but the icebox slams on his arm. And they pull the arm out. And then the detective takes a hammer to it and absolutely smashes it to smithereens. But then it kind of explodes out with all this like supernatural like lights and wind.
It does. It's like a tornado above it.
Yeah. And that's what convinces them. So the like how contrived in the story is it for this icebox is going to a neighbour's yard. Oh, it's killed the neighbour's son. Thank you. That was coming for a while. It's killed a neighbour's son, and it's at the right time to convince the detective that it's all supernatural, like the brother-in-law had been telling him. I mean, it's just, I don't know if that's in the short story or if that was just added in, but that's such lazy writing. And when you write Crank 3, Emma, I need you to avoid
I won't be lazy.
any
This is why it's taken
writing.
so long, so I'm not being lazy. I also just liked it because the Mangler was like the big evil, like I'm going to kill everybody, and then the little icebox was just like a naughty little child
scampering around,
like his naughty little son that just was like, I'll kill one person just for fun, but it's like the rest of it was just like a little bit threatening, like I'll trap your arm in here. Oh, shouldn't have done that. But it was like. Yeah, so it was just like a little scallywag. Not quite, not quite the level of his dad, but...
I call my youngest son Tommy my little goblin because he's like, what am I going to do now?
That's what it was like. It was like the Mangler was like the dad, but he was like the evil psycho dad, and then he just had this son that was a little bit, a little bit where. Don't leave there, mate, I'll nick it. Don't stand there, mate, I'll kill you. And that reference only works if people know what the Fast Show is.
Oh my god!
Which people that aren't from the UK probably don't know the Fast Show, do they?
I don't know if that ever reached across the pond. The Fast Show, it should do. It's the sort of like, American.
I don't think I appreciate
Benny Hill got really popular in America, so I could
it?
Imagine the Fast Show being something that would end up being popular.
I don't think I ever appreciated the Fast Show in its time. I think I got onto it much later on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I remember
I don't know.
waiting for the next
it.
episode of it.
I remember watching it probably as like an older teenager,
Yeah.
but I don't think I really appreciated it until I was a bit older, that how funny it actually was.
I can't remember if I was going into school, sixth form or college, like quoting it, like the next week when after it, after all, I was very, very drunk. But never drinking again.
That's my prop anyway. What did you have? Anything?
Well, I had the Mangler as the prop.
Oh, okay.
Because I just loved the design of it. It had these great big gears, these great big chunky chains going back and forth.
Yeah, and it was very much like a old-fashioned machine, wasn't it?
It reminded me, and I said this to you early on, it reminded me of an old stop-motion cartoon called Bertha.
Yeah.
Where like there would be this machine that I don't know...
I don't even know what that machine did.
The machine did everything. They just programmed it to do whatever they needed it to do for that episode.
Yeah.
But it reminded me of like, if Bertha, after the TV show, couldn't find work again and like got into drinking and drugs and just decided that they'd had enough and were now going to mangle people.
Yeah.
So that's...
And again, Bertha's very much a British thing, isn't it? I don't
Yeah,
think
Bertha's
people,
a really British thing,
yeah,
you know.
I don't think people would get that.
Google Bertha cartoon and you'll see what we're talking about. It was great.
Yeah.
I loved it as a kid. But yeah, the Mangler was my favourite prop just because I thought it looked fantastic as like an evil machine.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, the machine... Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But
it looked
not any
old
character,
and evil,
of course.
but it didn't have any.
Yeah.
It didn't have a personality.
Yeah, yeah. If you were asking me for best actor out between the Mangler or Robert the Tire, obviously. The Manglers. I think we did give to Robert the best actor.
Did we?
I'm sure we did. At least one of us did. Possibly me.
But I think just by the fact that if you make something look really old-fashioned, it will look creepy by default because we know from horror movies, whenever they go into someone's house in a horror movie and it's all the creepy old dolls and the old trinkets and stuff like that.
Which were in this movie as well.
That gives it the creepy factor.
Yeah.
So it definitely did. The Mangler definitely did look creepy.
Yeah. Yeah, and I liked it because of that. But only because of that.
But they could have made it look more like a mouth or something like
the
front bit or something. Just done something to make it look like it was actually...
And even even if it had I don't know, sprockets or something. I think that was actually the name of the company in Bertha, Sprockets or something. There's a vague memory. But even if it had cogs or gears or something that made it look like it had eyes somewhere over the Mangler area, which is the mouth.
Like the sofa had the little buttons for the eyes, didn't it? And,
absolutely.
And then the mouth was like the little crease, wasn't it? In the...
All right, so now you've picked so many holes in the design, it's now no longer my favourite prop.
Oh, sorry.
No, sorry. I'm only joking.
Sorry.
When was the last time I listened to you, Emma?
That was a terrible Buffalo Bill.
That was really bad.
All right. That leaves us with lines or death.
I've got quite a few lines.
So have I, actually.
There was quite a lot of dialogue, so we've got line. Yeah, we've got quite a few lines. But like you say, a lot of it sounded like it was just ad-libbed. It didn't sound necessarily scripted. I wonder if many of these bad movies are scripted, to be fair. What did you have for lines?
Okay, so...
I think I know your favourite one. So I think I've got it here too.
So, we'll build up to that one. We'll do one each. How many have you got? I've got 4.
I've got 3 good ones, I think.
Okay. So I'll start then, because I've got more. And that instantly makes me the winner. No. So early on, we meet the detective and his brother-in-law having a conversation. This is the first time we meet the brother-in-law. Yep. And they're having just a little sit down and a chat, and the brother-in-law is saying he's got to get a life, and he's got to, he can't just spend all his time chasing dead bodies because he's a murder detective or whatever at the time. So you got to get a life, and they say that so much it sounds like they didn't actually have a script for this scene. It's just you need to get a life. And anyway, at one point the detective replies back to him, "I've got a life, I need a beer." Now maybe that's the reason the detective is literally chugging back bottles and bottles of antacids. Yes. I think he needs to stop drinking.
Oh yes, because that woman is the old woman that gets killed. Her pills get put in the machine. At some point, I can't remember who it is, but someone says to the detective, "Try these," and gives. Oh, so and so used to take.
At the end, he gives the detective gives an antacid to everyone, Sherry and the brother-in-law. And the brother-in-law goes, "I don't normally take these sorts of things. What's in them?" And looks at the back and goes, "Belladonna," which, if you don't know, some of you listeners might even have come from Poisoner's Cabinet. It is a poison.
Yeah.
But nothing happens to them because of the poison.
No. That was pointless.
I have no idea about the inclusion of that.
No, totally pointless.
None at all. All right. So what's one of your favourite lines?
I've just realised I haven't written down who said them. So it's a bit out of context. There was one point where I'm pretty sure this was after the old woman had died.
Uh-huh.
Someone says, "There's been a slight accident."
Oh,
After she's just literally been killed and mangled by this machine.
That was the sheriff.
It was the sheriff.
Yeah, like a sheriff came in or something.
Yeah, that was just crazy because it was like slight accident. Someone's died. And then I've also got someone said to the boss of the laundry, "I'll shove those crutches up your mouldy arse, old man," or ass, which made me laugh.
That's right. Yeah, the detective said that too, didn't he?
Oh, the detective said that. Yeah. And then someone said, "You miserable piece of dog fuck."
That was the detective again. To at the very end where they've just rescued Sherry from the Mangler.
Oh, yes.
And Robert Englund's character has been knocked back and he's on top of him and grabbing at him and going, yeah, you miserable old piece of dog fuck.
Oh, and then Robert Englund's, when they first come along to try and rescue Sherry, and she's actually on the machine, his response is, "Piss off." And I'm like, maybe something a bit, you're just about to sacrifice this woman into the machine, maybe something a bit stronger than "piss off."
It reminds me, right, an old movie I watched called Q, the Winged Serpent, right?
Yeah.
There's a great big massive, like, prehistoric bird.
Did we not watch that?
I think we did.
I think we did.
Yeah, a long time ago. And like this great big bird has like attacked, and David Carradine's character clearly doesn't know what to say, and he just goes, "Big." Like, yeah, that was big. It's like, and that "piss off" reminded me of that. So like, I don't want to say "piss off." I had a couple more as well.
Okay.
So this is the detective talking again to the brother-in-law, who's going on about like the witchcraft and paranormal stuff, and he does not believe in it. And at one point he says again to the brother-in-law, "First there's God, then there's the country, then there's the law." What the hell?
What does it mean?
It doesn't mean anything. Because later after that, but I loved it just for like the way he delivered it as well. He was really like, "Oh, I really believe this is the first there's God, then the country, then the law." Yeah, it was a great line, an iconic line, I think. And then my last favourite line, other than obviously your miserable piece of dog fuck, which I think we're going to have to do like a fight off with best lines. Like, is that better than "shit in my mouth"?
It's up there, isn't it?
It's very close, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very
I think
close.
they're on a par, those two.
Although this one is nowhere near as good as either of them, but it did make me really chuckle. Where someone says to the detective, "Are you crazy?" And the detective goes, "No, I'm a policeman."
Like I say, there were some great lines in it because there was a lot of dialogue.
Yeah, there was. There really was.
And we probably missed, when we drifted off in the middle, we probably missed a few good lines.
Yeah, I can imagine. If those are, I mean, because none of the, not any of these lines were anything significant in the movie. These were just like throwaway lines somewhere around.
Yeah.
So there were probably a few more chucked in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. What about deaths? So we talk about deaths?
Let's talk about deaths.
Okay. What was your favourite death? Because I think we've got the same.
I think you know what my favourite death is.
Please explain it for us.
I'm calling him Freddy because he's Freddy Krueger, but he's the boss of the laundry. Mm-hmm. So this is quite near the end. So everyone else, well, I say everyone, there's only been like two or three deaths, hasn't there? So the other people have gone through the Mangler.
Yeah.
Which isn't a Mangler. We don't know what it is. It steams, it irons. Someone calls it an ironer at one point.
I think the front half is a Mangler because that it's got like a big roller to crush. Oh, okay. So that will squeeze out. Do we care?
No.
No.
I mean, the sheets were dry when they went in, so that was silly.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the other two people that go through the Mangler, they go through the Mangler and they come out the other end like blancmange, human blancmange.
Blob.
They come out like that, but with the boss, is it the same machine or is it a different machine?
It's the same machine, but it's the back of it.
Oh, he goes in the back, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he gets pushed into the back of the machine rather than going through the front.
Well, the folding mechanism
and there's a folding, like a big, it's like the size of a table, and he just, it's hilarious. If you've got to watch this scene if you don't watch the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So he's laying on this table and it's just folding him, gradually folding him more
from the
and more.
feet up.
From the feet, yeah. So you know like those pictures you used to do of your kids where you draw a face and then you fold it up and they draw the body and then you fold it up a bit more and like you draw the legs and it just looks like a funny... It was literally like fold it again. And they just kept folding him up, but also, because obviously it wasn't his body, you could see just like his actual head, and then they'd put obviously a fake body over the top, which was like his suit, but it was like, I don't know, a foot off of his actual body. There was a massive gap. It was so far away.
It's like he's really hit the bench press.
Oh, it was ridiculous. So that, like, the fact that he's actually being folded up and you're seeing like his legs getting crushed, all these like braces getting crushed and flying off, and then you've just got his head underneath this massive fake torso.
Yeah.
It was just hilarious. So if you don't watch this movie, please just look up that scene on YouTube or somewhere because it's worth it.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Just so funny.
Definitely
That was
the
the best death.
Best death. And there were a couple in there, you know. I mean, there were people getting mangled, but this was the best mangling. I mean, the best folding.
This was
the best
better
folding.
than the mangling because...
Ever seeing it's like,
went on
you ever seen a man folded?
It's just, but it just kept going, didn't it? It's like, just keep folding him up. And yeah,
you know, but it's true though, isn't it? It's that old myth: you can't fold a person more than 7 times.
Yeah. But also, while this folding's going on, which takes forever, he's just laying there going, even when he's got no body because they've like literally crushed, and he's still just a little head, just like still crying out, and it's like it's a bit like Crank in that respect, where the head's just like left.
Oh God.
Because he literally is, because the rest of his body must be crushed. He must be dead.
It is, yeah.
But his head's still there going,
And the last thing he does, the bit that really tickled me as well as all the rest of it, but at the very end, he says to the detective, "You son of a but," and it's like his brain short circuits because he just goes but, and dies.
Yeah, it's brilliant scene.
Fantastic.
Maybe even one of my favourite death scenes.
Oh, that's a big accolade.
Yeah, I think definitely of this season.
Okay.
Maybe even of all of the ones we've done.
Oh, that's a very interesting statement.
I just think it was so funny.
It was good.
It went on for a long time. We because sometimes like with things like Carousel, you don't get to see half the deaths, or you get a very quick... It sort of cut away a lot, didn't it? It cut away and we didn't see a lot of it, which makes me think budget was an issue and special effects cost a bit of money.
But if you're going to fold Robert Englund...
But if you're going to do a death scene and drag it out and make it last forever. And this, you've got your money's worth with this.
Oh, yeah.
This was like, you know, I'm here for the deaths.
I mean, like, if that death wasn't in it, you'd be ruining renting that movie on Prime. Yeah,
this death scene alone has put up the points on this one, put up the score on this one by quite a lot.
Yeah.
If this death wasn't in it, the score would be a lot lower.
Yep.
I think.
That's fair. Oh, so that's good. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so that could even... Oh, wow. It's that good. It could even affect your score.
Yeah. 100% it's going to affect my score.
Well, speaking of which, that was the last of our topic. So that's going to lead us into now scoring it. So I'm intrigued to know how many stars out of 5 are you going to give this film?
Right, I think I'm going to give it 2.5.
2.5?
Because...
Okay.
I don't think I should score it any higher because it was a hell of a lot of time there, probably a good hour where I was bored silly. Mm-hmm. So there wasn't enough going on the whole way through this film. It brought it back at the end, 100%. So you had a little bit in the beginning, then the end was good.
Yeah.
But just for this scene alone, that's notched me up a bit higher than I would have gone.
Excuse me.
Had it have not been for that scene...
Yeah, fair. What would you have said without that scene?
Might have got a 1 or 1.5. I think it's...
So that death is actually worth somewhere between 1.5 stars.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm amazed.
Or 1.5. I think so, because... I mean, I'd definitely watch it again on YouTube. It's just so funny.
Yeah.
You've
got 48 hours.
I don't
to watch it again.
I don't recommend this film.
Yeah,
but I recommend, like you said earlier, watch select scenes of it. Watch the death scenes. It's worth it for the death scenes and the special effects. But I wouldn't watch the entire film.
Yeah, the gore's definitely worth it. And I think because of the gore, I'm going to give it a 2 as well.
Okay.
But the rest of the film is absolutely forgettable.
Yes.
But definitely, they've done well in terms of, like, that factor. And I'd give it a 2 for that.
And I guess, you know, there's some funny bits in there. There's some bits that are really quite amusing. So I think the fact that it was, like I say, you've got your money's worth on that scene. Mm-hmm. The fact that it was drawn out and it was just so funny. The concept of it's funny. Someone being folded to death was just funny. But also the way they did it was funny. And him laying there screaming, even though he definitely would have been dead by then. Even though like his whole body's been crushed by this point. He's definitely dead, but his little head's still there going, ah.
I mean, his lungs have been folded several times by now.
You've got you're dead. You're definitely dead. Everything's been crushed, like your spinal cord's been
unless
severed.
He wasn't screaming, unless he was being played like an accordion.
But yeah, it was, and there was a few bits in this movie where, you're like, that's really amusing.
Yeah.
Not in a, it wasn't a good bad movie, but there were a few bits in it that made me laugh. So I think, I think I'll stick at 2.5. Yeah,
fair. Okay. So, I mean, definitely in terms of watching this film, if you watch this film, good luck. You'll probably fast forward, and even if you do sit and watch it with your friends, because like when we were sitting watching it, and we got distracted and we got talking about all sorts as we used to do. There was a bit of nostalgia sitting there watching. It's like not anyway. That was a strange moment there. But it was like when those gory moments happened, that drew our attention back. So yes, if you sit and watch this, watch it with your friends, drunk, high, you do you, right? And just enjoy the gory bits and just you might see some stupid things all the way through it, but that's really all it's for, isn't it? Yeah. All right. Well, thanks everyone for joining us on episode 5 of season 2. Yeah. Boy, have we got an absolute doozy for episode 6 coming up.
Yes, we have. So
we absolutely
need to stay tuned.
Definitely stay tuned. Obviously as well, you might have heard me mention there that we rented this movie. Okay, There's plenty of content out there now on our Patreon. Join us on the beginning of a month, because then you'll have like a whole month to listen to 11 episodes. Soon to be 11, because the 10th episode would have been released, but next week after this episode, the 11th episode. So you'll have 11 episodes. You'll also have Brody's bonus episode to listen to if you want to listen to me and Emma's son Brody talk about a very bad kids movie, so you can get your kids listening to us as well if you want to. But come along. We've also probably got a few bits and pieces coming up, like bloopers and stuff. A few like bloopers things. Like extras. I've got a few little extras that we'll sort out as we can. But if you want to come and join us over on the Patreon, all the links are at the bottom of the episode details. Come and join us. Come and chat to us. Yeah. Even on the social media. Yeah, we'd love to know your opinions on the movies we've watched, if you've watched them as well. And also, like we said earlier, any recommendations of things that we haven't reviewed that you want to see us review. Let us know. Now, here's a real challenge for you as well, right? Think of a season. Think of a season, a whole season. And I challenge you to think of like a whole genre of a type of genre of bad movies and suggest movies for that genre as well. That'd be amazing if you could do that. So basically just do our jobs for us. Yeah. And it's not that we're running out. Also watch the movie and review it and record it and send it to us. If you could do a great Scottish accent and sometimes mention Emma's dad, then no one will know it's not us. Yeah, nobody will know. We can go on holiday. That sounds amazing. We'll do that. But no bad movies while we're away. Who am I kidding? I'm bringing my Neil Breen collection. I'll get stopped at customs. What's this, sir? It's a full set of Neil Breen. I'm sorry, we're confiscating that. Why? No reason. They go to their own DVD player. Neil Breen.
I don't think that's going to happen.
No, it won't happen. It won't happen. Anyway, I'll get on my little Neil Breen fever dream and say goodbye, everyone. Love you all lots. It's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.
Bye.
Bye.